just to first say that we as government entities, we are charged with the responsibility of driving government policy, particularly around areas of sustainability, as well as areas that do improve our economy and livelihoods. It is for that reason that our meeting this morning will primarily focus on this particular standard, which seeks to drive both areas in terms of how the country can develop, in terms of building sustainable enterprises, sustainable businesses, while ensuring that we tackle one of our major global threat of pollution. As a country, we have been well aware of the discussions we have been having, particularly around the issue of Phatha Sakho and the issue of plastic shopping bags. I'm not going to go to the background in terms of what has happened in terms of the legislation, which I'm sure some of you may be well aware, and the processes that have involved Parliament in terms of some of the direction and the guidance that has been given. Now, one of those issues which have emerged in the recent conversations that the country has had has been the issue of saying, while government has been promoting reusable bags, a lot of products have come into the market with many claims of sustainability and being green. Now, the question that has emerged has been the question of, what do you mean when you say these products are green or they are eco-friendly? So one of the questions we are going to answer today through the discussion we are going to have is that very pertinent question. How do we, as a Eswatini, define this whole idea of green or eco or whatsoever we will call it, particularly in the context of these bags or Phatha Sakho? Now, this is informed by many other issues that, as I've said, have emerged not only here, particularly in the discussion of the use of products in the packaging sector. Mainly because one of the concerns has been that there is a lot of greenwashing in the sector. Greenwashing is the act of claiming that something is green, when in actual fact the product cannot pass many of what we call our sustainability criteria. Greenwashing does not only happen in this sector, it happens in many other areas of the economy. You would find companies who will claim that we are a green, we're a green bank, we're a green school, we're a green church, we're a green what. That's greenwashing, which needs to be put into a test of saying, if you are saying you're a green church, what do you mean? How many cars do you park outside your church assembly in each Sunday to say you are contributing towards a low greenhouse gas emissions, for instance? So here today we are going to be discussing that. Our team from ISWASA is going to assist us, how we have developed this draft standard and why we have developed this draft standard and how it is going to work. One of the things that we would want to also emphasize is that we hope by coming up with this standard, I'm happy SEDCO is here, we are going to assist our private sector partners in terms of stimulating more growth, in terms of products which we can place in the market, not only here in Eswatini, but also look at how we can, as a country, assist those companies or SMEs who would want to place these standards even in at the global actually these products at the global market. And by making sure that we have a criteria that can be tested, particularly within the global framework of whether you talk ISO, then we are able to then make those products globally competitive and globally marketable. And I'm happy that we have taken this initiative, because I know that this discussion, it's actually taking place in many other countries, particularly the area of saying, if we say, for instance, we want to move away from plastic-based products, why do we say that? And if we do that, how do we make sure that that transition is just? We avoid job losses. We avoid economic impact. We avoid a situation where the country will lose by doing so. So this discussion is going to assist us in doing that. And also ensuring that those companies that are currently trading in products which we might want to phase out with time are able to transition into whatsoever mechanism we have in place. So those are some of the things that we are trying to do by having this particular standard and being discussed, hopefully eventually being placed into the market for all of us to use as a guidance in terms of where we want to go. Let me just probably end by saying that one of the most critical issues in product design, particularly in what we are going to be discussing here, is the issue of the use of chemicals, particularly chemicals that we have seen that they do have a long-lasting impact on human health and the environment. Now, the issue of the use of chemicals knows no boundaries. We can sit here and say we are using fabric, for instance, or we are using sisal, halbom. But if we begin then to introduce certain chemicals in the production chain, which may have other impacts on the environment and human health, then we will need to begin to answer or question the sustainability element of that particular product. The other issue is what we call product design. How are our products designed? Are they designed for disposal, or they are designed for reproduction, or recycling, or reprocessing, or upcycling? So those are some of the elements we are going to discuss today as we engage on this particular standard. But lastly, again, I want to go back to the issue of just transition. That just transition is important in any sector, particularly this particular sector of packaging, of bags. That as we do all of these policy changes, we want to ensure we don't leave anyone behind. We all move together to make sure that the country moves forward and we are all able to deliver on our sustainability objectives as a country.